happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Alright kitties, it is officially October 31st, it is Halloween, and this is my Halloween special, which I haven't done in countless years, you know why.
Fool this man!
So for this year, I've decided that I'm going to take a trip down to Haddonfield, Illinois, and other places too, and I'm going to be breaking down my Halloween series rankings. Yes, I'm including the smelly redneck Rob Zombie Halloween movies too. I'm all of them.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you!
So full transparency, I am not a big fan of the Halloween series as a whole, but I figured I might as well just pull the band-aid off because I'm going to be doing more of these rankings videos, and I might as well start with one of my least favorite franchises. And it's released on Halloween, so I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. But before we get going, might as well.
I'm not gonna play any game in which I'm not getting annihilated.
Alright, we got Dough Ball Cookie Dough Whiskey. Slancha. That tastes just like cookie dough. Alright, so we are starting at the bottom of the barrel, the bitch of the bunch, the participation trophy, because boy howdy did they try. I don't think they did. Starting off the list at number 13 is the cinematic abortion known as Halloween Resurrection. I mean, need I say more? This movie is borderline unwatchable. On the plus side, it's got the start of Katie Sackhoff's career, who went on to the very excellent reimagining of Battlestar Galactica, which I'm a huge fan of. But then on the other hand, it's got Busta Rhymes and what's her frickin' name? Oh, Tyra Banks, yeah, her. She's not very memorable. Jamie Lee Curtis shows up to just act all catatonic and crazy and whatnot, but I mean, you're gonna find on this list, I'm not the biggest fan of Laurie Strode as a character. I think she is beyond overrated. I watched this movie for the very first time for this list, and the only consolation is that I'll never have to watch it again. It is, again, borderline unwatchable. Alright, so coming in at number 12, we've got Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. All I'm going to say to start off with is they did Tina dirty in this movie. And they kind of did the whole plot a disservice as well, because at the conclusion of 4, they're playing off that Jamie Lloyd, who is the daughter of Laurie Strode, played by Danielle Harris, is following in Michael Myers' footsteps and is going to become some type of a killer. They had the springboard to go and do something different with the franchise, but no, you got it's another Michael Myers movie. He's evil, he's out there, he's stabbing people. And then they kill one of the better characters of the later movies. I mean, spoiler alert, but I mean, come on. Okay, number 11, we are heading more into modern times, and I am going with Halloween Kills, the middle child of the David Gordon Green trilogy. I watched it once. I did not rewatch it for this list as I was putting together my rankings. I didn't want to. Pretty much you have maybe 3 things. You got Evil Dies Tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight!
Alright, evil dies tonight! Done! Evil dies tonight!
Michael Myers being probably his most vicious, mean, and just violent he's ever been, which is probably the only highlight of the movie. In fact, if you're a fan of Michael Myers, that's why you watch the series, so you probably love this movie. I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I can only speak for myself that this movie's boring as fuck. And the soundtrack is fantastic. It's equally mean, it's equally vicious. It's John Carpenter with his son and another guy whose name escapes me. Sorry. Yeah, that was an easy one and done for me. What is up with you cats and wanting to fucking bother me when I'm filming? Can I get back to my video? Yeah? Okay. Alright, coming in at number 10 is H2O, Halloween 20 Years Later. If you pretty much want to go there, you can just say, Scream came out, they mentioned Halloween, people are nostalgic, so hey, Jamie Lee Curtis likes money, let's make another movie and make it act just like Scream. I saw this in the theater when it first came out, enjoyed it enough, and rewatched it again. It is boring. I'm not sure if it's just like as I've grown up, I've just kind of grown like less into Michael Myers as a character. It just kind of like I'm looking at it with fresh eyes or whatever, but I just see it as a gigantic Scream clone. And don't get me wrong, I love Scream. I just feel like that's what they were trying to go for. And they even had like them watching Scream or Scream 2. So I mean, it was like they were trying to go for the whole meta thing as well. It didn't stand the test of time for me. It was Hollywood being Hollywood, which they're never going to change. All right, now you guys are really going to hate me, probably, unless you do already. But coming in at number 9, we've got Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie version. So it's a continuation of the Halloween remake by Rob Zombie. It follows Laurie Strode following the events of Halloween night. Flash forwards a little bit, goes into her life, her traumas. You've got Loomis as this very sleazy snake oil salesman sort of person. He's like an author. He's caring all about the spotlight and everything like that. And in all honesty, that was one of the more endearing things about the movie. I fucking love Malcolm McDowell as Loomis. He's just so full of himself and just such a... I don't know. That's one of the highlights of the movie for me. It does start off in a hospital, like the original Halloween 2 does, and like Halloween Kills takes place in a hospital. So I'm not sure why it's a prerequisite that the immediate sequel to the first Halloween movie in your series has got to take place somewhat in a hospital. But this one does, albeit for a short period, and then it jumps ahead. In any case, it's not as boring as some of the other lower additions to the series, but it's still not great. It's not something I revisit, but they did try and do something more akin to what they should have done in Halloween 5 with Laurie Strode, her psyche. What's going to happen to her? Is she going to follow in Michael Myers' footsteps because of the hereditary nature? Is it in her genes that she's going to become this great evil? And they explore that a little bit, which I enjoyed. From what I've read, Rob Zombie is not happy with the movie that was put out. I don't know if I've actually watched the director's cut or if I want to. I remember where I said that you guys were going to hate me? Well, it's going to continue to go on, because number 8 is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And my reasoning for putting this higher than all those other ones is it felt like they were trying to do something a little different with the franchise. And yes, I know that they kind of laid the groundwork and the seeds in 4 and 5 in regards to the Black Thorn, but this is where the Black Thorn comes out in full force. Granted, in terms of iterations of Michael Myers, this is one of the worst. He's got really bad hair and dad bod. Obviously, he's been hitting the Krispy Kreme in between the years and whatnot. And they didn't even bother contacting Danielle Harris to come back and reprise her role as Jamie Lloyd, which is weird. That I think she's gone on record as saying they didn't even reach out to her. And then Paul Rudd is in there, and this is his first role, I think it is. The man does not age. I mean, whatever blood pact he's got with the devil to maintain that youthful appearance, I mean, we could all use a little of that. In regards to some of the later Halloweens, it's fun. It's decent. I know there's another cut out there, like the producer's cut or something like that, which I haven't watched. I might look it up. I don't know. We'll see. But again, they tried to do something a little different with the source material, which I enjoyed. They took a little bit of a risk. They did try and explain Michael Myers, which is always the biggest problem with the character. Moved away from part 1 and the fact that he didn't have any sort of motive or anything like that. You kind of lose the character. And then we're moving on to number 7. Lucky number 7. We're around the midway point of the list. And I'm going with the original Halloween 2, which I also watched for the first time in preparing this list. So it looked like the director was taking cues in terms of direction from what John Carpenter did in the original. You can kind of see the looks on there are very similar, even though this movie was released in the early 80s. So essentially it's the same night, and Laurie Strode is in the hospital. I'm still waiting for her to live up to the top final girl form that she's known for. It's not happening. Not in this one. Not in the last one. Apparently she's top tits when it comes to being a final girl.
Baby nice.
Still don't see it. I probably never will, but anyways. And Loomis is back, and he's starting down his road of batshit craziness. And the other thing that I noticed while watching this movie is every time that Michael would kill somebody with a scalpel,
Baby knife.
I would just hear Ryan Reynolds going, baby knife.
Baby knife.
So, yeah. Alright, and then now we have number 6. And we are going with the Halloween remake by Rob Zombie. And it starts off like any old Rob Zombie movie. It's very rednecky. You can probably taste how bad it must smell on that set because everyone just... I don't know why. What is it about Rob Zombie movies? And it just like... It looks like everyone's got perpetual body odor. Like, it just looks like it smells disgusting. Every movie he does, you just see people are either... They look like they're just sweating or just haven't discovered deodorant or something. But anyways... So it starts off like that. You get a little backstory into Michael, and you see how he became Michael Myers, which, again, do you really need to? But he did. I mean, it was his vision, so... And then it becomes a paint-by-numbers remake of the 78 Halloween, just bloodier, and more violent, and more vicious. Still love Malcolm McDowell as Loomis. I love his sleaziness about him, the way that he kind of comes off like as a hippie almost when he's talking to young Michael. I do find it amusing that the actor who played young Michael, if you look at him today, he looks like what would happen if you merged Macaulay Culkin with Kid Rock and he had a $5,000 allowance at a piercing parlor. Very funny, but he still looks like he belongs in a Rob Zombie movie. So, I mean, this is a fun enough movie. Like I said, the violence is turned up to 11. The blood is turned up to 11 because, essentially, you look at the original Halloween, it's very bloodless. There's violence, but there's not a lot of blood. But Rob Zombie said, fuck that, here comes the blood, here comes the violence, here comes the nastiness, the viciousness, it's very mean. Alright, now we're in the top 5. So few left. I know there's one in there you guys are asking yourselves, why is it that high?
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
Well, you're gonna find out in a second. My number 5 is Halloween from 2018, the first part of the David Gordon Green saga. Yep, you know what that means. Ends is higher in my list. And you'll know why in just a second. They are starting the series fresh in the sense that they're negating every sequel that exists. This takes place 40 years, I think, after the first one. Laurie is no longer related to Michael, but they do turn her from the timid little babysitter into fucking Sarah Connor, essentially. She becomes this survivalist who, you know, lost custody of her daughter because she was batshit insane. And you have the estrangement from there, and the estrangement from her granddaughter, who plays a bigger role in these movies. It's essentially another copy and paste story for Halloween. They go back to the idea in the original that Michael Myers is just pure evil. They don't really give him a backstory or whatnot, except for in the second one. It turns out, oh, he just wanted to go home. Yeah, I hate Halloween Kills. It's a competently made movie. I mean, it looks good. The violence is turned up, not as much as in Halloween Kills. In any case, you know, good performances. Decent enough. I mean, I still don't like the character of Laurie Strode. Even though they turned her into fucking Sarah Connor with the arm to the teat and like traps set up and things of that nature. And number 4, you asked for it and here it is. My number 4 is Halloween Ends. I'm just going to read this off of my letterbox that I posted literally the day after I watched it. I watched it for the second time because it went straight to streaming. I have a saying, if you've seen one Michael Myers movie, you've seen them all. I still believe that. Halloween Ends isn't the case, which is also why everybody is probably going to hate it. As a film on its own, I enjoyed it. As a conclusion for a trilogy, it's dog shit awful. In fact, if you have any sort of attachment to the new Halloween 40 trilogy, you're probably going to get your torches and pitchforks ready after watching this. So if you're here for a Michael Myers movie with a climactic, action-packed, and thrilling conclusion to this new trilogy, you're going to be shit out of luck. The runtime of the movie itself is 1 hour and 51 minutes. The approximate screen time of Michael Myers, 9 minutes and 49 seconds. And I sat through a second time to time it. This is what's going to piss off all the Michael Myers fanboys for sure. They came out for lots of killing and supernatural shenanigans, along with a final showdown between Michael and Laurie Strode, which you get, but it's really short and anticlimactic. Instead, they get a story about a character introduced at the beginning with parallels to Michael. Essentially, you've got the character who pretty much finds evil just because of the way that he's in his environment and the town. The town is essentially the main villain of Halloween Ends. But anyways, this movie is essentially David Gordon Green's Halloween 3, complete with the same opening credit font that's used in Season of the Witch. It is. All in all, I didn't hate it on the initial viewing and rather enjoyed it on the second viewing. I'm not particularly a fan of Michael Myers, but I liked the first film and part 4, which they're forthcoming. Other than that, I could take or leave them. That might be why I liked this one as much as I did. It was just a shitty trilogy overall though, and the filmmakers did the primary viewing audience kind of dirty with the conclusion. Alright, coming in at number 3, we've got Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And of course, if you've seen this movie, you're familiar with the ever-famous opening that you see every fucking autumn on social media. Everyone's bringing up that scene. This is the first Michael Myers movie since Part 2, when they did the little jump off point, which we'll get to in a second. Essentially, you are introduced to Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris. She is the daughter of Laurie Strode, who is dead. It looks like she's got some kind of autism or something like that. She's definitely touched a little bit. But you got her, you got her stepsister Tina. Essentially, it's Halloween, and they decide to move Michael Myers again, because that's what you do, even though he was dead as dicks after Halloween 2, and so is Loomis, but he's alive too. This is where he really starts to get batshit insane. But his viciousness does get a lot higher in this movie. His violent streak just gets worse and worse. This one's a fun time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. For a Halloween movie, it's fun. They just dropped the ball severely with Part 5. I mean, like I said, the way that they set this up, the way that it concluded, they definitely had a springboard to do something else, but they didn't. But it still doesn't mean 4 isn't a decent movie. I enjoyed it. Alright, down to number 2, and we got 2 left, and if you know me, you know that number 2 is the original Halloween from 1978. That's right, the John Carpenter classic that should have remained a one-shot movie. I am gonna go to my grave saying that. Michael Myers should have been in one movie only. That's the way he's most effective. You can't take away from John Carpenter's writing and directing in this one, his iconic fucking score, which he came back to do in the David Gordon Green movies. Excellent. That's my favorite part of Halloween, the score. The original Halloween, the score. I love it. I don't think Laurie Strode is a very endearing character. Sure, she's got some kind of pluck in this, but then other than that, she whines and picks up a weapon and immediately drops it. Constantly. Apparently that trauma turns her into Sarah Connor in 40 years, so I guess that's when she becomes Final Girl A number 1, I guess. I don't know. Despite the fact that I'm not a fan of the primary antagonist, like a lot of people are, this is still a solid film. Not one I revisit a whole hell of a lot, but still solid enough to earn a 4 stars out of 5, in my opinion. And that leads us to number 1, which, if you've watched my channel, or if you know me personally, or if you can even look around the room behind me and you can tell what my number 1 Halloween movie is, yes, it's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I know a lot of people are going to say this shouldn't be on the list, it's not a Michael Myers movie. Michael Myers is in it for about a good 3 seconds.
The Immortal Classic, followed by the big giveaway at 9.
That's enough. The fact that it's not a Michael Myers movie, that's one of the reasons why I love it. It is also the only Halloween movie where the holiday of Halloween is essential to the plot. If you remove Halloween from this movie, you've got no movie. The plot centers around the holiday. Original Halloween was originally called The Babysitter Murders. They just called it Halloween so they can cash in every October. That movie could have taken place any day of the year, and it would not have affected the plot one iota. Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than Halloween is a Halloween movie. You know I'm right. Anyways, back to my favorite Halloween movie. It's got the ever-hunky Tom Atkins as a doctor who watches an old man get murdered in his hospital, watches some dude go into a car and blow himself up, goes with a young lady whose dad is the one that got killed, and they go and try and figure out why did he get killed. And then that's when they find everything regarding Silver Shamrock and the masks and the sinister motives behind Connell Cochran, who we find out is a warlock. He's doing upgraded pagan rituals that he originally did with his people way back in the day. So they do bring in a lot of the whole Gaelic traditions of the original Halloween or Samhain. The soundtrack, John Carpenter, Alan Howarth, it's fucking incredible. I love it. And this movie's just a hell of a lot of fun to watch. I think the plot moves at a nice brisk pace from beginning, middle to end. And it ends on a down note. The bad guy wins. Myself, like many, feel very cheated because this was supposed to be the kickoff of a series of John Carpenter themed Halloween movies that we would get every Halloween going forward, but because of the fact that Michael Myers wasn't in it, it did okay to start, but then word of mouth went through and it just disappeared. Yeah, Halloween 3, it's one of my favorite all-time horror movies. It is my favorite Halloween movie, like Halloween-themed Halloween movie. Finish off the video, let's go back into the cauldron. Hopefully not a 99. Okay, we got a scatterbrain. We got a peanut butter whiskey. Let's do one of these. I'm sure you're going to do it already. Go ahead and put down your list down below. Or just let me know how wrong I am about my picks. I mean, my opinion. You got yours, I got mine. It's awesome. We have free will. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back with more rankings. I did the Texas Chainsaw rankings. That was not fun either. Hellraiser, even less fun. Friday the 13th was okay. And of course, Nightmare on Elm Street, that's always a good time. That's my favorite horror series. Ooh. Heavy on the chocolate. Not as peanut buttery as Dirty Monkey, but still okay. See you next time.
Happy Halloween.